In the early 1970s, Japanese car manufacturing companies were leading the automobile industry, posing a threat to the American car companies like Ford. In 1971, Ford released a relatively cheap car designed to dominate the domestic automobile markets, called the Ford Pinto.
Pinto, the new little carefree car from Ford. Priced like a small economy import, but you'd never know to look at it. It's averaged over 25 miles per gallon in simulated city and suburban driving, but it's frisky, with a wider stance than any little import.
The Ford Pinto was made to be very cheap and efficient to make. These extreme cost restrictions were solved by a cheap and unsafe rear bumper, which, when hit at relatively slow speeds, could cause the fuel tank to detonate. The National Highway Traffic Safety Association, NHTSA, began on the investigation of the gas tank, as they were determining whether the design met the criteria of a safety defect. According to Lee Strickland, an engineer at NHTSA, the Pinto's fire threshold in rear-end collisions were between 30 and 35 miles per hour. Because the cost saved from the rear bumper would outweigh the cost of the casualties, the company went on with the manufacturing of the Pinto. Safety regulations at the time did not require rear collisions to be tested, which allowed the Pinto to go on sale. Also, because the Ford Pinto already had deep social values, seen in the emphasis on personal freedom and mobility, there was still a surge of demand for these automobiles.
When I bought my Pinto, I figured it was a good value, but I didn't know how good until my dad started borrowing it.
So I ended up buying my own.
Then I bought one, and I bought one.
And I bought one.
And we bought two!
Although the casualty rate of the car was not significantly higher than that of other average American vehicles, the media caused an uproar that turned into a PR disaster. Ford Motor Company brought to court in two main lawsuits, the Grimshaw vs. Ford case and the State of Indiana vs. Ford case. Overall, Ford's decisions of manufacturing and selling the Pinto was considered to be unethical because of their priorities in trying to become an industrial powerhouse, not worrying about their customers or their safety.